Hey everyone, thanks for joining Reasonable Setups on our weekly NQ review. So let's start from the calendar. So this week is the CPI week. We have a CPI numbers coming on Wednesday, and alongside, of course, JOLTS on Tuesday, PPI numbers on Thursday, and on Friday, inflation expectation numbers. All right, let's open the NQ chart on a weekly time frame. You can see here we had a weekly close below 50 EMA, which is a sign that potentially we are shifting into a bearish trend on a bigger time frame. So we can see here the potential weekly bounce zone right here, the previous resistance support levels. And if this doesn't hold, then potentially trying to retest the December 2021 high right here. All right. So my speculation is that eventually this tariffs and layoffs narrative will bring us to take this sell side liquidity right here on a weekly time frame. And of course, if things are worse than we know, worse than we think, we can potentially feel the CME gap on a daily time frame you can see later. So this is the 200 EMA right here, which is potential support zone as well. So consider this 200 EMA, sorry, as well. So let's move to the daily chart. On a daily chart, you can see here potential double top, and this sell-off took us below 200 EMA right here, and we are potentially losing as well the upward channel started from 2023 on January. So you can see here we are getting very close to the potential bounce zone, this resistance level, support resistance level right here. Okay, so while we are speaking, the market opened with a huge gap down. This may be on the higher CPI print expectations. We will see next week on Wednesday. So, as we already said, this is the December high levels here, potential bounce zone if this one doesn't hold. And of course, this sell side liquidity on a weekly time frame to come and basically to take this liquidity and then to bounce, right? Okay, so let's move on a 4-hour chart right now. You can see here we are basically going down every time testing this 2148 EMA band or 50 EMA, I'm not sure right now. 50 EMA band right here, and you can see here the week, another huge week. Potentially we can have some dead cat bounce to test this 50 EMA and this supply and support and resistance level right here. You can see a lot of supply here. And by the way, this is also the Thursday gap, which is an open gap. We never filled it. And yes, the downtrend is very, very strong as of today. And let's see what the CPI brings this week. All right. This is the 4-hour. Let's move into 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart is also a textbook downtrend. We tested a couple of times, faked out from the 50 EMA. But you can see one thing, that the sellers are getting exhausted a bit. So the selling is getting weaker and weaker right here as we are potentially closing to this bounce zone, right? So on the 15-minute chart, this is the trend, right? This is the 200 EMA. You can see here another rejection from 200 EMA on a 15-minute chart. And we had a gap down right now. This is the, let's mark in our charts as well. This is the new week opening gap, right? New week opening gap right here. Very important to mark every time it opens on Sunday, right? Okay, so what we can expect on CPI, let's open the calendar right here. So on Tuesday, we are going to have the JOLTS number, important, but I think overall market is waiting for CPI data. Let's see, for the last couple of months, CPI has been picking up and the inflation expectations are going higher for this and coming year as well. So this is the monthly one. And the yearly one, the forecast is 2.9%. I think we're gonna be higher than the forecast at least above 3%. That's my speculation, but we will see for sure. We will see for sure. You can see, started from October, it's been going up only, the inflation, right? And of course, the PPI on Thursday and the inflation expectations, which just skyrocketed last time, right? Or it doesn't. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got it wrong. Oh, yes, this is the one. Just look at this. From November low, 2.6 to 4.3% expectations. So the consumers are bearish on the markets. The consumers are weak, basically. And let's see what's going to happen next week, right? So the market is currently down a bit. Wow, almost 1%. Okay. This is the trend line, you remember, from 2023's uptrend. This is the trend line. We are basically ranging below that trend line. Let's see if we can break that trend line to the upwards and possibly go and fill this Thursday gap if we have any bullish momentum. And I think if the CPI comes positive, possibly we can have some short-term bounce onto the supply zone. On the conclusion, I would say that let's see whether this week brings us 19400s if the CPI is hot, or we can possibly go and close this Thursday gap and test this supply if the CPI is at least as expected or below the expectations. So let's see whether we can hold this level right here as we are trying to do, and see overnight how this opening gap reacts right here. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for joining me on Sunday weekly review. And please, if you like this content, make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments below what kind of content you like to have on a weekly or a daily basis. I will make sure to read each and all of it, okay? So thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye.